start our video today, I just would like to mention all the good content that we already have in our channel and encourage you to check all that out. And I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so you don't miss any future videos. Today we're gonna be covering the creation of these tags. How do we create tags? And as you were seeing here in the videos since the beginning, I was just basically clicking here and creating tags as we go, which is one of the basic method that you can use to create tags. However, there's different advanced techniques that you can do to create tags and so forth. So let's have a look at some of the advanced ways to do things and how all that works. So one of advanced way of doing your tags is you can do import and export in Excel. So I can simply go here to export, and I can say export, and I can pick either program tags and so forth, but for me I'm just gonna focus on the controller tags, and then I'm gonna just put them in here. That's fine. Export. So now that we have them that folder, and I'm gonna look at my file here. So here it is. So you can see here's my tags and even alias. So let's say I want to create a bunch of these real tags. So easy way, I can just say you're going to be a tag, that's the type, and I'm going to say your tag, let's say I'm going to start from 10, and I can simply just copy this, paste it here, and now let's say I want to create a bunch of these. Maybe I create another, since I start from 0, so another 10, and then do like this, like that, like this. And since I already have these created, I don't need any of these. I can simply just delete these, and now I have very quickly created 10 tags, and then all I have to do now, since I already saved it, I can go to my program and simply say now import the tags, and I have to close this first, and then say imports. So now here's all my tags imported. Notice here we have an error because this is pointing to this connection, which is a dent, but this is real, so that's why it's complaining. So we're just going to get rid of this connection. We don't need it. And there we go. So as you can see here, very quickly we created these tags. There's some other things to be aware of, and with the same method you can create as many tags as you want. The other thing you can also do is let's say we want to put some comments on our physical I/O. So let's say I'm gonna add a new module in here. I'm just gonna put like a discrete input. So if I put here let's say an IB32, okay, I'm gonna create that. All right, so now we have this local. Now when I have this local here, and then data, one of a good good things to do is, like, what is this local? I mean, there's different ways of doing it, but one way I do like to do is I typically put in the description, for example, the either the tag. So let's say this is level switch high 1000, for instance. So if we want to, all these IOs, it's maybe a level switch, maybe this one is a spare, for example, so we can know, okay, this is a spare. So you can certainly do it this way, but this is obviously time consuming. So now what we can do is we can do again export, and again we're going to pick controller tags, and we say exports. It's going to say it's going to replace. We'll say yes, and then we go to that file again. Now notice something here. So you will see that we have the local the card we added right here, and then we have the comment right in here, and then we have the specifier, which is 0 and then 2. Now we don't need any of these stuff down here, can get rid of that, but we're just interested in this. So what we can do here now is I can actually put this as 1, okay, and we know we have 31, there we go, and then I can also put here comments and then put this for all that card, and then I can simply, maybe this is 2000, or whatever the case is, right? So I can just come up with stuff, put some, maybe this is a spare, those are spares, maybe something like that. So now that we did this, we save it and close that, and then we can go back and just simply do an import, and then we will import that. So now, as we see here is all the comments as we imported the file. Boom, 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 boom. Very quickly, very easily, we commented on all our physical points just using Excel, and we can do that very efficiently. And setting the comments for our physical I/O, it's not the only thing we can do. We can certainly do other things. So I'm going to share also with you a couple things. So let's say, for instance, you in your program you have used the digital alarms of the Rockwell library. So I'm just going to declare here one alarm, call it alarm 1, and this is going to be alarm digital. Okay, now you'll notice that this alarm digital has a structure, and there is a bunch of parameters here and so forth that you can set, and why not. But one important parameter which you would not find in here is the message that you want it to be basically displayed for the user. So the alarm message basically. So if I go here just to show you, and if I so just to show you here, I can bring it here, so I can just do LMD, and this will be alarm 1. So I'm just gonna keep it like that, alarm 1. Now if I click on this 3-dot button, you'll see there is some parameters here that are not exposed through that structure we saw earlier, and one of them, which is extremely important, is the message right here. So if you have, let's say, few of these blocks, and obviously each one of them is going to have a unique message, depending on the what you're trying to alarm on, it's going to be most likely time consuming to go one by one, click on it, and then put the message here. So this is, for example, alarm one message, for instance, and so forth. However, there is a quick way to set all that very efficiently. Not only this, but I'll show you some other stuff you can do. So for now, we're just gonna have this alarm one message in there. Obviously, there's other methods and why not that other people might adopt, and one of them is you can actually in here, instead of having a static message, what some other users do is they would have here a tag, a string tag, because you can do that. So you can come here and have a tag rather than static text. And then when you have it as a tag, obviously you're going to have access to that tag, which you can write to from even external application and so forth. So anyway, so there is certainly different ways to address this, but I'm just going to show you one of the ways that you can set up this message very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to hit OK. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go again and do export as we were doing earlier. And I'm going to go controller, let's say exports, place it, yes. And then what I'll do is I'll go back and open up that file. Right here it is. And I'm not interested in any of these, but what I'm interested in is these tag right here. So I'm going to delete all that. Now you notice here I have this alarm one tag that I created, and I have nothing in the description, but I can certainly add a description. It's a very good practice to do so. So let's actually do that. To show you that you can also change that. All right, and then here's that message we were talking about. So the key here, keyword here is this ELM MSG colon and then English.us. So that's the language you want to use. So now I can create, I can create a bunch of these alarms tags, or I can essentially change this. So let's say we'll have a bunch of these alarms that we're going to create. So what I'll do here is, and I want to also change the messages and a bunch of other things. So what I can do here is I can certainly copy this and just keep pasting it like this. So I have one. So I'm just gonna have 3 alarms here just to show you, and you can have these alarms. So this is going to be 2, and I can do the same thing here. Same thing here. So this is going to be 3, and this is going to be 4, 4. And then I'm going to have my messages. So I'm just going to copy that in here, and I can just change this to 2, 3, 4. So I changed the messages, and then I can do the same for my description. So this 2, and this is 2. And this will be 4, this is 4, and this is actually 3. There we go. So now I have created these extra 3 tags for my alarms, and I'm gonna essentially have my data type, for my tags. So it's going to be this one, and this one. And then for my specifier, it's going to be for the message. Okay, and then my attribute and so forth. So that's going to be for my tags. Now notice here, beside the message that we can, change and quickly create and all that by just specifying this as the keyword, I can also set up my severity, my minimum duration, and all these parameters that you see in here are exposed. So maybe if this is the severity of this is maybe not 500, which is the default, maybe it's 800, I can certainly change that, and then the minimum duration and so forth. So they can be specific to that alarm just from here. So I'm going to have this as maybe 600. So now that we have set up all that, as you can see just from here, I can save this, close it, and then I can go back to my program, and again I'm going to import my tags, which is right here. Do an import. Now you will see, well, this one is already set up, so it's there. But now if I go and do like this and have this as alarm 2, you'll see it's got recognized. So here's alarm 2 description, and if I go to the block, here's the message we set up, and here is the severity we set up. And if I go to my controller tags, certainly we have those tags are created right there. So that's what also you can do with the import and export for the text. So there's quite a bit of stuff that you can do that obviously we can't cover all of them, but I would encourage you to explore all of those topic we discussed, and as you go, you will start to discover more and more of things that you can do with the import and export. The other thing, advanced way of creating tags and parameters and so forth, setting parameters and why not, scripting, which is not the scope of this video, but keep that in mind, that that's another way that you could create some sort of script, depending what language you're using. Could be VBA, could be C#, could be Python. That's also another option that some users will utilize to create tags and set up parameters and so forth. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate watching the video, and I hope it was informative, and I will see you in the next one.